Hi, this is Kelly for paperbeadrollers.com, and today we're going to create a beautiful necklace design with the blue jean paper beads. I showed you how to create these beads in my last video. This is actual denim fabric backed with paper, and you can purchase it in paper packs at some of your larger retail stores. I'll put a link in the description to this paper pack on Amazon. I'll also put a link to the other video where you can learn exactly how I made these specific paper beads. For this project, the tools you'll need are scissors, a crimp tool, 2 pairs of pliers, and the one-step looper, although you can also create the loops manually. The supplies you'll need are 10 blue jean beads made from 3/4 inch strips and 8 blue jean beads made from the 1/2 inch strip. Again, I will link this video in the video description so that you can see exactly how to make them. I'm also using 2 beads that I made with my round bead template. However, these beads came out more egg-shaped because I used a thinner paper than was originally intended. I used a 30-pound paper, and that template, in order to get a round bead, you have to use a 65-pound paper. So I will link that tutorial in the video description as well, so you can see the exact dimensions used to create this patterned paper bead. You'll also need some sort of decorative connectors. Now, I used 7 of these. Some beading wire, like this Beadalon 49 strand in silver, and you'll need some crimp beads as well. I chose this blue stone for my pendant. Now you'll need something that has a bit of weight to it so this piece will balance properly. Mine will need a head pin to connect it to the beading wire. I'll also add a bit of chain that goes around my neck because I find it more comfortable than having beads behind my neck. I've laid out the design here on my beadboard. Now I wanted a piece that was relaxed and could be worn with jeans and a t-shirt to dress it up a bit, but it's still pretty casual. I'm using the denim saucer beads at the top on either side and the denim round beads at the bottom on either side of the pendant. I'll start by adding a crimp bead to my wire. Then I'll loop the beading wire through the decorative connector. And crimp it securely. Now sometimes it helps to use your pliers to hold the wire in place as you're crimping. Now I'll string on 4 of my blue jean saucer beads. Now we'll secure this end by looping it through the connector, and we'll crimp it in place just like we did in the beginning. You do want to leave a little bit of wire between the crimp and the blue jean beads to help with movement and wear between the metal and the bead. I'm going to add my pattern paper bead in the same way, looping the wire through the connector and securing with the crimp bead. Then string on the paper bead and loop and secure the other end. You want this tight enough that you don't see a bunch of the wire, but not so tight that the connector rubs against the paper bead because it will damage it over time. And we'll use the same method with the last blue jean bead section on this side of the necklace. Attach the wire to the connector, string the blue jean round beads. And add a connector on the other end, crimping it securely. Now for time's sake, I finished the side of my necklace off camera. You'll do this exactly how we did the first side of the necklace. I'm now at the point where I've strung my last section of round blue jean beads. Now here, I'm going to attach my wire to the same connector, same hole as I attach the other side of the necklace, because I want this connector to hang down straight and hold my pendant. So thread the wire through the same hole as you used for the other side and crimp it off securely. Now let's work with the pendant. My pendant is going to sit on a head pin, but look at this. The hole is too large and the head pin passes right through. That means I'm going to need a bead at the bottom of my pendant to hold it in place. So I'm going to use this silver ball. The ball goes on first, then the pendant. Then I'll use my one-step looper tool to make my loop. Now I'll just attach the pendant to the connector. Now the last step is to add the chain so we can wear this pretty piece. Measure how much chain you'll need to make the pendant sit where you want to on your chest. For me, I'll use 6 inches of chain. All I did was hold the piece in place on my chest where I wanted it to fall, and I used a measuring tape to see how much chain I needed to add to keep it there. Now I'll attach the chain at either side using jump rings. Time for the clasp. Now I have several different types of closures here in my stash. I've got ring closures, hooks, lobster claws. I keep them in this divided container so it's easy to see what I have. They're organized by the color. This obviously is my silver container. Now you can purchase these on paperbeadrollers.com if you need a container like this. I think I'll use the lobster claw clasps for this one. These are my favorite for necklaces. I find them easier to use than the ring closures. I'll grab a smaller jump ring to attach the claw to the chain. I think this is about 6 millimeters, and a larger jump ring for the other end of the chain, about 10 millimeters. Now I can just open my jump ring and attach the lobster clasp to the chain. And on the other side, I'll just open the jump ring and slide it right onto the chain, closing it securely. And there we are, the necklace is complete. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more paper bead and jewelry tutorials. And hit the bell so you get notified whenever I post a new one. You can also join us over on Facebook in the Paper Bead Fanatics group. See you next time.